and then all of the stuff is getting spit out over there, which is, that's actually really fun to watch. And welcome back to Going Hard here on Music Freak Gaming. That's right, it is another video intro for another hardcore video. And again, if I die, the world ends. But before that happens, I want to do something that was sort of inspired by these lamps behind me. As we were working on this the other day, we got talking, and where I've got all of those glass blocks up there, we were thinking that, you know what would look really good would be frog lights. Well, I don't think I'm going to go replace the glass in those lanterns. Frog lights are awesome, and I want to get them. But I need to do some prep work before I can really get going on that. So let's get started. So I'm down here by my tunnel, right where I've got all of my happy turtles and a few reasonably happy fish, I'm sure. But I thought this would be a great place to set up a frog sanctuary. Now, I don't know that I'm going to get too involved with this. For example, I don't know if I'm actually going to try to connect it into the pipe itself. But what I want to do is set up a nice quiet place where I could breed up a few frogs. Now let's make sure I'm not... Okay, that's turtles. So I'm gonna slide down this way just a touch. Okay, and maybe put some of that grass back. Okay, so we'll slide down here and we'll set up a little place where I can breed some frogs and get some tadpoles, because I'm gonna have to take tadpoles to a bunch of different places, or at least a couple of them, to get the different types of frogs that I need. Okay, it's gonna look garish as all heck, but it's frogs. Frogs like it bright and colorful. I'm totally sure they do. I've seen Kermit. I know he likes bright and colorful things. After all, he married Miss Piggy. She's bright and colorful. So I think having a bright and colorful little frog breeding area will, I think, suit these frogs nicely. Well, there we go. That was probably too quick and a little bit painful on the eyes, because I think frogs like bright colors. But I've got a nice little breeding area for these guys. So what I probably should do is bring down a bucket or barrel or something that I can put in with some slime so I can breed these up easily when I need to. But this is going to be the step one, is I need a lot more tadpoles. So we'll let those guys grow up and we'll breed them up when they become actual living frogs. Alrighty, we now have some happy frogs and some happy frog spawn. So now comes the wait for more tadpoles. Tadpoles are, well, hard to catch. Come here. Guess I gotta scoop them up in a water bucket, but come here. That's right. You're all right, so I'm gonna sit here and play bobbing for tadpoles for a little while. The next step, now that I have all these happy tadpoles, is to head out to get some powdered snow and also breed up some green frogs, I think is what you get in the cold. And to make this a little bit safer, I've made up some snow boots. These have, they're leather boots, feather falling, depth strider, all that good stuff. But because they're leather, that's going to keep me from falling through any powdered snow and freezing to death. And I don't know about you, I'm pretty okay not freezing to death. So as soon as I think I'll sleep tonight, and then we'll head out and see if I can find a nice snowy place. Yep, on my way out to find some nice big piles of murder snow. And it looks like we've got ourselves a nice little ice spike biome coming up this way. I might have to harvest some of this ice while I'm here, because I'm nowhere near ice. And grabbing a little bit of packed ice or blue ice, whatever this ends up being, could be really handy to have around. Really bad, I suppose, if I totally forgot that this was here. Ooh, polar bear. Let's not tick off the polar bear. It's going to walk up to me. I speak for the ice flows. You and your evil pickaxe are destroying the environment. I shall now eat you with much fierceness and also barbecue sauce. See, it's a little known fact that polar bears, all about their barbecue sauce. They love a good barbecue sauce. So you got to watch out for the polar bears any excuse to put barbecue sauce on something, they're about it. A bit. Oh, look, there's a village. Perfect. I think that's what we're looking for. Oh, hey. I just got the letter as a rabbit achievement. That means there it is, powdered snow. Ah, perfect. I've got myself a nice convenient nether portal here. I'm gonna wait to go through it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my base now and jump through the nether ceiling and set up a link here so I can get back and forth here real quick as I need. All right, so let's do that and be back in a moment. Okay, the portals are linked, which is awesome. So the next thing I need to do is probably steal some of this village, because I didn't think to bring any sort of cleric. I didn't think to bring any sort of building materials with me. And I need to head out into the ice and snow and build a nice little frog sanctuary. And while the tadpoles are growing up, I need to get a bunch of powdered snow, because powdered snow is essential to a good froglight farm. So while my tadpoles do that whole growing up thing that kids are so good at, I'm going to come out here and scoop up some of this snow. I need 81 snow for the frog farm, or the froglight farm. That's the thing. And I don't have shulker boxes, which means I'm going to need, I guess I'll go carry all of this back with me and go get those leads that I keep forgetting to make and bring with me. And no, this is going to be great. I like walking back and forth. At least it's going to be a little bit easier because I now have the portal through the nether. The sound of frogs. Oh, this is great. The rest of my powdered snow and my leads. And now I just need to wait for 3 more of these guys to grow up so I can take them with me back up to the nether roof. Yep. You are going to give me all sorts of light. It's going to be great. And he moons me. This is the respect I get from frogs. Now I'm happy to lock you on the nether roof with an all-you-can-eat buffet for the rest of eternity. I don't know that I like you anymore, frog. I think, no. And I've got my green frogs. So, let's get them back to my main portal. I'll tie them up. I'm just going to leave them on the nether roof. And then it's off to breed all the others. One quick detour to the... Oops. No. Stand up. Thank you. Jeez. Anyway, one quick detour to the desert village. And I now have nether camel. The nether camel will be my quick ride back and forth. Now, you don't go too far. I'll be back for you. Well, I spent a little time between streams, and I now have 1.5 zillion frogs, which is awesome. Also, my nether camel is happily tied up, so he's going to provide some nice transportation when I need to get around up here. But that's not where the fun's going to be now. Now that I've got all these frogs, it's time to actually build the froglight farm. It turns out there's a basalt delta really close to my portal, actually up on the nether roof. There's the portal, there's all the frogs. So this is really convenient. This trapdoor is pretty much where I'm going to center the farm. That block won't stay there, but it's a good marker for things. So I have laid out what is going to be the footprint of the farm. Storage area is going to go here. That's why chests exist. And then here, I'll free cam up so you can get a good look at it. Inside this square is the kill chamber. And then coming out on the outside here, that's going to be where the spawning spaces are. I guess the next thing is going to be to get started building this thing, but I need to do it in such a way that I don't accidentally get mobs spawning on me while I'm trying to build it, because that would be awkward. So, because they'll spawn quick up here if I'm not careful. But the first thing I'm going to need here is to start building the collection system, because everything's going to start on top of that. All right, so I have a unloading platform here. I'll get hopper minecarts running back and forth, and they'll they'll run across the track to these unloading stations. Now I have these set to unload into a couple of sets of double chests for just to buffer up the items. And then what happens is they'll get pulled over into a drop elevator, which I'm starting to build right here, powered by a speedy observer clock. So this one doesn't get turned off. This one just goes. And then the plan here is to get this firing off onto an ice line that's going to come this way. So no, I think this will all make sense. So at least it should make sense when it's done. So let's finish this, and then hopefully it'll make sense to all of us at the same time. Well, the technical bits are done. Took a little bit of time, and I think I should place a block up there. Anyway, it's all set. The item elevator is going. It's super clicky, but I have it so they're not quite so loud. But yes, it's all going. The icing is going. The sorting system's set except for the filters, because I don't have froglights yet. But once that's done, this is going to give me everything I need. The next thing I need to do is load up the killing chamber, get that built up, and get some frogs moved in. Okay, the killing chamber is built. I've got this ring of cherry blossom leaves. Those are just temporary until I get more of the platform spawning. Oops. That, however, is in the wrong place. Let's just clean that up. Now, one of the things I need to do now is I need to get in the spot for the iron golem, which is going to be right about here, I think. So we'll slap we'll slap that in there. The idea is the iron golem's going to stand here, and as the magma cubes spawn in all around it, just like slime, they'll be drawn over to the iron golem's immense buffness and think, oh, I want to be with the buff guy. And then they end up, plummeting. Again, plummeting is fun for them. So let's drop in the golem. Plop. And now he is set. He's definitely not going anywhere. So our bait is set. Go and clean out these leaves here. And close that. Awesome. So once I start building the spawning areas, the magma cubes are going to get pulled in and drawn right down into that place there. However, this killing chamber is not going to do us any good if I don't get in some frogs and some powdered snow. What is up with that frog? He's all right. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that frog, but he's definitely having a day, which, I get. I totally get having days, and he's definitely having one of them. All right, the other side from this frog who's got a case of the zoomies, we're all ready. So let's get these guys up into the farm. All right, we got it. We got all the frogs in. Now it's time to get the snow. Okay, so I went to get my leather snow boots. Snow boots, well, leather is awesome because it allows you to stand on top of the powdered snow. We're going to get a bunch of this snow in place. So let's get over here. We'll get some more powdered snow in place. And by the power of editing, you get to skip this whole process while I get to sit here and chill. All of the snow is in place, and you can hear the happy frogs. They're happily croaking away down. Of course, we can't see them. They're happily croaking away down here. They're just chilling, just waiting for the buffet to start. And that can't start until I get some spawning platforms in place. So that is the next step. And the spawning area is done. I think I'm going to go clean out some stuff down here. Like, I don't need all of these torches down here, and I think they might be hurting the rates of the farm anyway. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just put in another layer of glass. Because I don't like the way it just staggers here, but I don't want to block all the froggy goodness, because I want to see what's happening in the farm. So, cool. Let's put in some glass, and then I need to see about a spawning area. All right, I've got an AFK spot. It's a little bit lower than I was originally calculating, but I don't think it's going to matter. And if we free cam down here, oh yeah, you can see the magma cubes all getting spawny. Right, so, and the froglights are getting picked up, and yeah, they're getting all spit out onto the ground. Perfect. Oh, perfect. So now, let's very carefully get down off this ladder. And I honestly may decide to throw some more glass walls on this, but just to keep my wee little body contained so that when I go down this ladder, I don't accidentally fall off and kill myself. And let's get over here now and pick up all of these happy drops and start setting some filters. Okay, so my body is up at my AFK spot, and now you can start to see the magma cubes are starting to spawn in. And if they're getting suckered in by the iron golem over there, because magma cubes just want to give him a great big ol' hug. And we can't have that now. So what happens is they drop down here, right? And there's all the powdered snow. And the bigger ones freeze to death, and the smaller ones get eaten by the frogs. And then the minecarts pick up their drops. Yep, and you can see them dropping things off in the loading stations. And then all of the stuff is getting spit out over there, which is, that's actually really fun to watch, as they get bounced over into the sorting system. So, yeah, looks like we have ourselves a working froglight farm. And look at that thing go. This is great. The farm is working wonderfully. I am thrilled, and I have more froglights that I'll be able to use. So, thank you all for hanging out with and watching the video. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.